Well, everybody, we're going to be starting a brand new thing on the channel. It's actually not brand new. We've kind of done it in separate occasions and separate, separate stuff. What do you call it? Different incarnations before. That's what I'm looking for. Where we're watching my own videos, but sometimes before things got really popular or hit milestones, we would rewatch them. Sometimes we would do a meme. I'm going to rewatch my new video that I just made and talk about it a little bit. I think I'm going to try and do this after every video and post it on the second channel, because why not? It sounds vaguely interesting. So obviously we're going to be talking about our corpse motif video here. We didn't do this for the Devilman one, Lost Cause, but hopefully since videos are getting uploaded more recently now, this will become a kind of consistent thing on Secondary ENT. I usually do it on stream anyway, which we are streaming right now, crazy. But yeah, why not? We need some secondary ENT content that isn't just chapter reviews. I'm always trying to build that up, and this seems like a easy, novel choice and something I'd probably want to go over. We can clarify things. If something's controversial, we can talk about comments. We can go over the video making process, how the video is doing analytically and stuff. That's why we've got video analytics up too. We can do mini updates, etc. So it sounds good. First of all, two big things. They're not even really that big. One of them's pretty big. I forgot to put the Patreon names in this video. Nobody has complained about it yet. It's kind of, it's pretty funny. I don't think the patrons that I have really care that much. I could list them in like the description box or the thingy or whatever, but I think I'll just remember to do it next time. Maybe if the video comes out in the same month span, then they'll get their one name in a video, even though the thing in the Patreon thing says every video, so you know. But anyway, most of my patrons are like elapsed viewers, I think, that are just like, oh, whatever, $5 a month, who cares? Though Bacon did watch the video and probably didn't even care to check if his name was in there somewhere, because he doesn't really care. But it was a decent turnaround. This is closer to 2 months than 1 month ago, this Devilman video, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Tell me the date. April the 26th. So we didn't get a video out in May. But we did get a video out 6 days ago on the 3rd of June, but it was very close to May. It could have come out in May. Probably should have come out in May. Oh my god, Trainwreck is on the stream. Calm down. I will say also, Elite are in the last two thumbnails. Let's look at our thumbnails real quick. I did this one, which is just a panel. This one's just a fucking screenshot from the show. I should probably make this one do the contrast better. This is a good thumbnail for this, just because it is about Shiho. Oh my god, I almost forgot her name here, and Lamau, she's in the thumbnail. Ari did this one, but he recently redid this one, and then this is a Bacon one, this is a Bacon one, I did this one, this is a Bacon one, and that one's a Bacon one, and I'm pretty sure this is a Bacon one, and I did both of these, because they're both miscellaneous insert shots. You just got a screen grab, a bacon, me, a bacon, a bacon, a bacon, a bacon, me, nope, bacon, me, bacon, nope, me over the top of bacon. Oh, sexy. But yeah, so these recent thumbnails look like Elite RE thumbnails. You can kind of tell the difference. All of Elite RE thumbnails are red. Crazy. Look, Bacon made a blue one here. Blue one here. Dark green one here. He's got range, unlike Elite RE. Elite RE does them for free, though. And that's not why I switched over. I just, it just sort of happened. And Elite RE refuses to be paid because, I made him. So he has to deal with it. Jackie Bacon was making videos like 8 years before me, guys. We can't be, can't be bullying him around. But anyway, should we watch the video or talk about it first? I guess we'll probably watch the video and things come up naturally. I just got a screenshot of the timeline in case anybody thinks this is interesting or there are any creators watching. This is what my timelines look like. They don't look like whenever I've seen other creators post their timelines. It's never like big blocks like this. It's always like every little 5-second thing is its own thing on the fucking on the fucking timeline. It's all like one's up here, then the next one's down here, then the next one's here. It's weird. But these are just like the background image things scrolling past. Also, Premiere just updated recently, like in the last 2 or 3 days. So now it looks like this. Usually this was just like, these are like blue and the movie things were like a different color. No, these are pink. They've changed the colors and they've changed how big everything is, and it looks weird. It looks more professional, like how I see when the other YouTubes upload their thingy. So I don't know what the fuck happened. This is a little thing Elite already did for the outro at the end. Lamau. But yeah, this is like just the music. This is the script audio, and then these are all the specific panels. Sometimes you need an extra one. Sometimes you need text. Sometimes we have a movie clip in there. But yeah, so I guess that's interesting. I guess we did just talk about that beforehand. Obviously, I don't have the actual Premiere thing on the laptop, like the thing, so we couldn't just scroll through it that way. That's the second best thing, whatever. I don't know if anybody about that shit. Anyway, I think we'll watch the video, then we'll talk about analytically how it's doing. As you can see, it's doing all right. It's actually doing very good. Though generally, I don't know if 1.1K is very satisfying, but... Okay, let's watch the fucking video. We'll probably watch it on like 1.5 speed just because Lamau, I don't...
If you didn't know, there are a lot of
or too slow, rather. This shot is actually an interesting shot. If I asked anybody where this shot was from Berserk, I don't know if they would know. This is like Zod's introduction, and there's just like a whole page of corpses, and I've just rotated it here. Because if you go back and you read that first Zod chapter, there's just like literally hundreds of individual corpses in like the little layer he's built, and it's fucking crazy.
corpses in Berserk.
But I was looking for because I didn't want to use any of the like specific example panels that we're going to end up using a bunch in the video at the very beginning. I generally like to try and find something unique, so I'm just like scrolling through Berserk chapters looking for like shots of corpses. Like, I think, like, you can, is there some in Conviction? There probably is. Let me scroll through some Conviction, then you like this. And then I think I was just I think maybe I had the idea, Zod's got to have some fucking corpses, right? And this one was, like, perfect. And I just did a little slow crawl on it. I'm not going to break down every shot like this, just the interesting ones. And this one is a little bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, Berserk is super violent and has, like, tons of death and maturity in it, brother.
Oh my god, Chainwrecks are nodding. Berserk.
Yeah, Berserk is super...
In our more recent videos, I guess I should just keep it up because I'm going to reference a bunch of old videos. So, it's obviously been a heavier focus on narration and joke telling, very generally. It sort of all progresses forward throughout my YouTube. The She-Ho video was pretty funny. This one's pretty funny. This one has some jokes in it that I don't think came off as well as they should have. And before that, we're not really doing too many jokes. There's like 3 jokes at the beginning of this one, and then I sort of just talk about the thing. I guess it's because they just didn't really come up when I'm writing. Because very much when I'm writing, it's just stream of conscious, and I'll just tangentialize onto a stupid joke, like I do when I'm doing a secondary ENT discussion with Ari or whatever. And they get kept in. And there's like a few of these jokes are sort of like points that I want to hit home on generally, and I've talked about a lot on stream and stuff, where it's like, Berserk's annoying ass fan base that's got its head so far up its ass. So that's what this opening joke is about. Then for the joke I was looking...
Didn't know. There are a lot of corpses in Berserk. Yeah, Berserk is...
And I was looking for an emoji to put over this because I wanted it to be like funny. And then somehow... I think it's because I was looking... Because I wanted to get Train saying shamelessness when I say it like the 4 times in here. And I think I just ended up searching it, and I was like, Trainwreck's GIFs. I know there's some funny ones there of him, like, nodding. And I was like, yeah, this one fits in as, like, making fun of fucking stupid Berserk fans. Because the joke has, like, 3 layers, because I'm just saying it in a funny voice, which makes it seem like I'm mocking it, but then also this is nodding along like I'm telling the truth, so it's sort of like a contradictory thing, but it all works out in the end, because you just understand the meaning inherently. I'm
super violent and has, like, tons of death and maturity in it, brother. Guts, our main...
Now, for the first few times I listened through to that audio, I was like, the joke doesn't land too well. Maybe I should re-record that or just cut it. But I think it ended up being
characters,
okay.
Literally.
Also, colored manga panel. Nobody's called me out for this yet, but I think it looks good, and obviously it's an official Berserk one. So fuck you.
From the corpse of a woman hung. His name comes from the blood and guts he was found in.
Bro, that's crazy. Oh my god. I'm just making the same joke in the same voice, but that's like the second joke.
The most iconic
about Berserk being really cool, bro, because I hate people like that.
Strikingly memorable use of corpses in Berserk is during...
Also, we use Berserk movie background chant, then some random Razafan song that I was just over it. By the time this video was nearly done, I hadn't really put any thought into the music. I didn't put any transitionary, like, things, because the video's rather short. So there wasn't any, like, bit-by-bit transitions or anything, like in this video or this video, or the... Attack on Titan. Oh my god, it literally comes up when you hover over it. That's crazy. Will this one do the same? Nope, we're talking about the Avengers for some reason. And this one doesn't. But Griffith was there for whatever reason. Wonder what point I was back in there. Oh. I think I do timestamps in the Shiho one, right? But I don't have... Well, maybe I don't do timestamps. Fuck them. Fuck timestamps, bro. They're lame AF. No, timestamps are sick. There's just not really much to timestamp. It's just sort of a... For smaller videos like this, I don't think they're necessarily necessary. Said the same thing twice just there.
The fateful eclipse. When Griffith is shown by...
This panel looks like shit! You ever noticed that, chat? There's actually not that many good shots in the manga of this fucking corpse motif bullshit. And like when you think of it, you're probably combining anime imagery and like the Vinland Saga one, and you're like, oh yeah, that wasn't like Berserk. But no, it's just like this shot and the one shot in this shot here that I used like 15 times throughout the video. And this one sucks because it's the Berserk thing where there's the line down the middle. Berserk fans complain about these, and I did Google and find a bunch of 2-page spreads that don't have the lines in it, and that's why a lot of like just the miscellaneous shots in this video are just 2-page spread shots, because I just found them and they were easy to like download and I didn't have to waifu them or go and find them in the manga. Super Eye Patch Wolf actually put out like an imager of like 50 or so double-page spread things, and then there's like another Twitter dude that did a bunch of them, so you can find them. Super Eye Patch Wolf didn't say you had to credit him in the video. I was originally planning on crediting every individual image I got from his imager compared to the other Twitter guy, but I just got lazy and was like, I want to upload this video now, so fuck that. Unethical, perhaps, but I don't give a frick, bro. But yeah, it's kind of hilarious how, like, there isn't many good shots in the manga of this corpse.
By Ubik, a metaphor for the truth of his long journey so far. That he is standing on a bridge built on piled corpses of his comrades and enemies. One that he built, one that he desired, to reach for his dream. His cast.
Now, the structure of this video is kind of... I almost want to say bad. I didn't even open the fucking script for this video. Can you believe that? Oh my god, there's lots of spoilers in here, I'm sure. No. I saw guts in the title and thought... it was the one. Where is the one? Are you the one, chat? You're the only one for me. Where the fuck is this goddamn piece of shit? Corpse. Oh yeah, it's still called that. In the thingies. Because that was originally what the title was going to be, Berserk and its corpse motif, but then I decided Guts Griffith and Berserk's corpse motif. They're both not very... good titles, I would say, in a YouTube sense. In terms of an essay sense, they're probably both really good. They're like vague and descriptive, kind of. For YouTube titles, I could have been like Berserk's corpse motif and how it explains the entire series. But I didn't end up going with that. Sometimes scripts start off as like impulsive little like, oh, I should write this down now, otherwise I'm forget it and I'm never going to do this. Because originally I was going to make that Black Swordsman Masks video. And then I was just like brainstorming other ideas for like a quick Berserk videos, and I came up with this one because I'd been thinking about it a little bit. And then I just tabbed over and started the document. And I probably wrote to like here. It wasn't actually any of this. All that stuff would be like... slight little bits of it would be stricken throughout here, but obviously it changes massively. And that started on the, like, me descriptively kind of, and now we're talking not descriptively as in descriptively real, but descriptively as in describing, which is what descriptively real is. I'm using descriptive language to just retell the Griffith story. I've kind of liked doing that ever since I did in that Cowboy Bebop video ages ago. How long ago was that one? Not that long ago. In terms of videos, but in terms of time, 2 fucking years. Or at the beginning of that, I just sort of used flowery language. Let's use that instead of descriptive language to retell a thing. Because writing itself is fun. And so I guess I just stuck with that structure, because the structure of the video is Berserk corpse motif introduction, then the Griffith one, which is the real corpse motif. If you see the title, that's what you're going to think of. And then there's the guts one with the chapter 1 thing. Then I also tie in the like my epiphany for the video. Now originally there was a whole paragraph about this that I ended up cutting, which is a very old Kyle Entertainment thing to do, which was to explain how I got the idea of the video. The thing Digibro complains about and Digibro rants about every anime YouTuber ever, whatever that video. Remember that one? A classic. like, he always like, cut that part out. She, in retrospect. But yeah, so that's just a little funny thing. I feel like I always end up doing that because I'm like, that's really interesting, and I want to like portray the moment of my epiphany because that's when I realized this was a good point. So if I can just recapture that, then everybody will think it's a good point. But that's really not. You're never going to capture that feeling entirely in your writing, and it's probably not the best way to lay something out because how you come to understand something is not really how an audience is going to come to understand stuff. But I guess in this sense, it's not that bad. I think I don't do a good enough job with the conclusion of this video, and that's why some of the comments are, like, confused, kind of. But it is just supposed to be, here's Griffith's corpse motif and what it represents, and here's Guts' corpse motif and how it represents, and how they're interwoven, and how they intersect, basically, which is Guts coming out of the pile of corpses, and then if you combine them together, they make a metaphor for what the ending of Berserk is probably going to be, which is Guts shooting Griffith out of the sky when he's on top of the world. And it being Griffith's own goddamn fault. And then there's the theme of trauma is then like the general theme of Berserk is reinforced in this metaphor. So then I explain that and then sort of try to tack it on to the metaphor. But I try to do it vaguely, and so it comes off cool, and you're supposed to have like a moment of realization when I say beware the man in the corpses or whatever. I don't think it really works. Or it hasn't seemed to work on the comments. Even when Elite was reacting to it, he was like, what the fuck does that mean? So it probably could have used a more direct conclusion. I do really like videos where it sort of just presents you with the information and like has a cool ominous line at the end that and you're supposed to infer the conclusion from that. That's really cool. It's good writing, I would say. It's probably not the most convincing. So again, you've sort of got to decide within yourself whether you want to like explain everything in a very boring monotone voice, piece by piece. So every retard in the fucking audience can understand, or if you want to be sort of funny and clever. Now, I didn't really set out trying to be funny and clever. Again, the writing just ended up that way, and I stuck with it. So I'm not the cleverest boy in the world, but yeah, there probably should have been a paragraph at the end that was like, Guts is going to kill Griffith, and the metaphor means that. And the reason why he's going to kill Griffith is because he's thematically succeeded where Griffith has thematically failed. Which is in overcoming trauma and building yourself up as a person or whatever. But it's sort of, I can see it being like hard to follow almost. If you're just watching it for the first time, you're like, well, we're just talking about the Berserk corpse motif. And there's not really any reason to. It's just sort of like, Berserk has lots of corpses in it. That's kind of funny, and you just keep following. And you just follow the train of thought down. Which, I don't know. It works. It works well enough. But yeah, I think I lost my train of thought there. I think I was going to leading somewhere. But I guess we'll just play the video. Where are we?
Corpses of his comrades and enemies. One that he built, one that he desired to reach for his dream. His castle sparkles in the distance, and Ubik demands he be honest with himself, that he always knew, and that he wanted this. Griffith is forced to face the graphic reality of the cobblestone.
Also in the manga, he never says like he wanted this, admit it. I think that's just from the movie, so.
Until this point. And now those most devoted to him is all he must give.
Because when I'm writing this shit, I do try to do like research, or like if I'm thinking of something, like later when I say like raven black wings when I'm describing Femto's wings, in the script for a while it was crimson black wings or something because I thought it was crimson wings, which again is just anime influence because it's like a crimson color in the anime with the light, with how they light that scene. What was I saying? Oh, but I definitely had a note in editing that I should go and check that. But there's like things like the Ubik demanding that, like in the movie says, you wanted this, admit it, you wanted this, be honest with yourself, whatever. And he's sort of goading, gotoing Griffith into doing the sacrifice or whatever if you're so sicklet pilled. Yeah, so I was so arrogant that I thought that was obviously true, so I didn't even feel the need to check that. It kind of still works because it seems just like a rephrasing how it happens rather than trying to reference something that's not as direct as I thought, but yeah.
To face the graphic reality of the cobblestone path he has walked up until this point.
And also, that's not really what the cobblestone path motif is about, but I really like that, and I always bring it up Remember my R.I.P. Mura post was the cobblestone path meme?
Now those most devoted to him is all he must give up to cheat this metaphor. What is a few more under his feet? He's one of the few.
And I'm also trying to interwove, like, Griffith and Guts' relationship analysis a little bit in, which maybe I should have cut all that stuff out, and maybe that makes it a little bit messy too. But I'm also trying to build up, like, or try to reiterate, like, what goes into Griffith's decision here, and sort of why Berserk is good in posing this question to Griffith, and why it's interesting. And
this corpse path imagery as a metaphor for a leader's guilt.
And then you have to do this joke. You just got to do it.
Regarding those they have led to sacrifice themselves for their cause is a rather resonant one, it seems. Just look at all the copycats. Attack on Titan, shamelessness. Vinland Saga, shameless.
Look, I even did a little text edit here, chat, where I said, look, he's even got his little Ubik, which is true, when Swen is running around.
Others who I'm forgetting, shamelessness. And those I'm completely unaware of.
This should be tilted a little bit more and brought up a little bit. The other reverse, question marks. Though I think this is an okay, because I was like, what the fuck do I put on screen for this? Should be something funny. I was like, question marks are funny enough.
Shamelessness. It is pretty sick, though. I don't blame him. It is also entirely possible that we are giving Berserk too much credit here, and that it's entirely shameless.
And I'm pretty sure this is the last of the jokes. I do like this joke.
Because it probably yanked it from a more ubiquitous original source that the other two were also referencing that I don't know about.
Also, in the script, because obviously this has to be said fast for it to be funny, I wrote it all in italics, you know. Actually, I just wrote it and then made it italic, so, you know.
And in the end, Berserk isn't as cool or as influential as a bunch of neckbeard, sword-worshipping man-children claim it is. Not me, though. I'm cool. I'd usually throw my hands up in...
Most of the jokes are just shitting on the Berserk community.
And just say
subtly, not being direct. I like
it's
it.
Probably Devilman, but I know it ain't. It's probably some hack fraud, ancient Greek boy lover shit. No.
I don't know who this is. I put in, like, Homer statue or whatever, and I was just like, this isn't coming out with anything good, so I just put in Greek statue, and I think this is just somebody
he's ever read. Homer is a Simpsons character. Get over yourself. But Griffith must make a choice. Will this
I think somebody put in the comments, they were like, yeah, right on, brother. Fuck these intellectuals. Oh, yeah, it was Mia. Thought that was funny. Me and Mia just having a bit of a back and forth, you know. I got massive influence in the YouTube community. Also, I had no idea. I thought Mia had like 3K subs. He's only got 700.
Path of destruction.
My goodness, I'm just flexing on him.
And he settles, falling short of his dream. Can he abide by such a lifestyle, sustained by a dream?
Oh my god, I bring up the Fountain of Dream language in this, so real Berserk fans will be like, oh my god, he just did a thing.
Dream hurt by a dream.
Because he says abide in the Fountain of Dream street chat, and then he says, obviously, revived by a dream, remember a dream, remember a dream, or whatever is from the speech part. In the movie, it's like the climax of the
dream, or will he be revived by a dream?
Very movie pilled chat, can you
Perhaps
tell?
For his dream, and the bodies beneath his feet, and the people that stand to be helped by his dream, he should leap from this pile of corpses and soar with raven black wings to his castle. All he needs to do is chant the words.
That one actually, that movie clip fits so well. I do like the little movie clips throughout, because I have the footage, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I may as well use it. But I think it transitions nicely in and out.
Holy Griffith should have cemented himself as a failure.
Because sometimes in the past I would complain about people making manga videos and using like movie clips in it, but this isn't even expressly that manga. I guess
maybe he should have even become one of the corpses for his most devout to walk on. But instead, the Behelit...
I tried to use it like space out the using.
Cheat, death, and failure. And so he did soar, achieving everything he wanted almost effortlessly, and raised his progressive utopia on the corpse.
Oh, sorry.
Failure. And so he did soar, achieving everything he wanted almost effortlessly, and raised...
Obviously, I just copied this from one of those documents that had a bunch of the things stuck together, and they didn't export it as a PNG, they exported it as a JPEG, so they kept this part in, which is funny, because I've made that mistake before, but I could have easily cropped that out and then recentered the image, but I was just too lazy, and because I put the background scrolling images in last, so for a long time it just looked like there was black screen around.
His progressive utopia on the corpse of Geyseric's ancient kingdom, where he now sits.
The corpse of Geyseric's ancient kingdom is a pretty cool line, guys.
Failure and death. It turns out this is not all there is to this corpse motif in Berserk, and that it's actually seeded as far back as Chapter 1, with another rather iconic Berserk image famous for being cool but also representing something deeper thematically. I'm talking about this full-page spread of Guts as the Black Swordsman emerging from underneath a pile of corpses to ambush the Snake Baron and the men of Coca Castle.
Coca Castle, chat. That's the name of the fucking castle in Chapter 1.
If you will.
I think it's also the name of the thing in the prototype.
It was drawn out of seeing this panel again, and pairing it with the Griffith scene of the corpses. I think this is all an allegory for the probable climax of the series. Griffith makes a selfish decision, goes to fly.
I hate the geometry. That's probably not the right word. Of this, because this page looks so much bigger, but they're actually like identically sized, I'm pretty sure, or pretty close to it. But just because this one's framed picturesquely because it's a cool art thing, and this one's not, it makes it look like this one's bigger and makes it look like I'm an idiot who put things in unevenly. But I didn't But I'm pretty sure I made him even.
Series. Griffith makes a selfish decision, goes to fly to his goal, only to be ambushed by the man hiding beneath the corpses, who was born from...
Oh my god, did you catch that? It's a mini sound effect from the movie that was connected to one of those clips that I put in.
Makes a selfish decision, goes to fly to his goal, only to be ambushed by the man hiding beneath the corpses.
Of Guts ambushing him by swinging a sword, that's crazy.
Death, but never captured by it. This all ties very well into the first ever scene we are shown of Guts and Griffith interacting. When the God Hand first appear in the Black Swordsman arc, it ends
also,
and then
didn't know about this when I made the original point, then went back to a chapter and found it and was like, oh my god, my point's so correct, I'm a genius. This is very helpful. I think it makes it a lot more convincing.
Following chapter,
and also it's actually 2 chapters later, as I have noted.
Flashback where Griffith pulls Guts out of a pile.
I'm just so good faith, you know, I correct my own mistakes, chat, except for when I forget to put my patrons in.
After a battle. And then he monologues about his dream. Rather fitting, don't you think? Later, Griffith would seek to push him back down.
This is one of the coolest Berserk pages of all time.
The pile of corpses, so he could walk over him. His narcissism showing. He believes what he pulled
Look
from
at
the
fucking smirk on his face in that one.
And surely put right back down.
Piece of shit, I'll beat the fuck out of Griffith.
What he has nurtured and facilitated the growth of, both physically and philosophically, in Guts,
here.
Surely he has the right to take away and
I also really like this one. This is... I feel like this should be a more iconic image in my mind and like the Berserk's fandom's mind. Sort of like how I hold with reverence running on the cobblestone path or whatever. Is like, this is the last moment. This is the moment where he decides. And it's kind of fucking crazy. What's this fucking idiot smiling for? Quit crying like a little pussy. He's got rape on his mind in this image, and it's pissing me off. Heath is here. Everybody salute Heath. Heath, how come I don't get recommendations anymore and you're just giving Jockey Bacon spider recommendations in our comment section? You're making me angry. Heath gives me recommendations sometimes. I'm just jealous and possessive, chat.
This controlling nature of Griffith has always been
evident. Look at this little fuck.
Guts' whole life has been about escaping the
Oh my god, we're using this one for the 3rd time.
Whether it be death or being sacrificed, or a life full of misery and meaninglessness, he has learned and escaping the seemingly inevitable.
I think there's cute characterizations and how they all get branded too. Judo's wary enough to put his hand out to try and block it. Pippin just takes it on the forearm. Dumb fucking Corpus gets it on... Guts gets it in his blind spot, and Casca gets it on her boob. Some characterization there.
Or a life full of misery and meaninglessness. He has learned and grown, and was always listening, which Griffith, and probably his narcissism, never...
Also, this is like the point of the video, kind of, and a big point I've always thought about Berserk is like, Guts listens a lot, and like Griffith never, like, Griffith has no concept of people around him also growing. That sort of narcissism thing. And because like everything falls apart because Griffith doesn't even consider that Guts could be listening to the Fountain of Dream speech. And that sets in motion everything.
He has learned and grown, and was always listening, which Griffith, and probably his narcissism, never accounted for.
It's kind of Griffith's, like, original sin, in a way. So I should have, I think, highlighted that more.
He's not the same person he was during their first fight.
Oh my god, Roberta does this move in Roberta's Blood Trail on one of the dude's guns.
He's not the same person he...
I freaked out and told Ari about it in our most recent Berserk Black Lagoon discussion here on the secondary ENT channel. Everybody should check it out.
Was during their first
By the way, Heath, I'm recording a video right now.
That he was in the snow. And he's not the same person now that he was when Griffith pulled him from...
I was trying to figure out which image I wanted to use
he was in the snow. And he's not the same
to represent modern day Guts. And I thought this one was cute. If I was better at like cropping shit out, it would just be this panel because obviously it looks a little weird because there's other panels and shit. But him sort of dicking around with the kid, I think is really good.
Person now that he was when Griffith pulled him.
It's like emblematic of like this little dweeb. Don't do that.
Pile of corpses back then, or even the man he seeks to push back down.
And neither does that dude.
This corpse motif is not the only reference.
And also, it makes it seem like there's a lot because I think a lot of people when they think about Guts,
pile of corpses back then, or even the man
probably think about this Guts. But to show that that's as far removed as this Guts is, I think is
corpses back then, or even the man he seeks to push back down with them. This corpse motif is not the only reference to the probable climax of Berserk in the series either. There's another.
Oh yeah, I like this Fountain of Dream speech too.
That I've been seeing throughout.
Or the point rather that like the Fountain of Dream speech is like foreshadowing the Golden Age arc basically, and also like the whole story of Berserk, or at least
the video, the
Griffith's story.
Dream speech. Griffith reflects in his speech the trajectory of what I assume is his whole character journey throughout the entire series. Sustained by a dream, hurt by a dream, revived by a dream, killed by a dream. Beware the man in the corpses.
So you're supposed to put it together there, Chad. Go, oh, Guts is going to kill him. Because all those things have already happened. He was sustained by a dream. He was hurt by his dream when he fell, and then he was revived by the Bahalit, and now he's going to get killed by...
The corpse motif, as laid out here, also
it's
doubles
like as Griffith's whole journey.
An allegory for the
also it's my favorite fucking Berserk track where it's just the dumb guitar.
Thematic point of Berserk, that being the overcoming trauma in order to grow and live a better life. This is embodied by Guts' journey,
Oh my god, it
reinforcing
wasn't
Berserk. That being the overcoming of trauma in order to grow and live a better life.
Oh yeah,
This is
trauma.
embodied by Guts' journey, reinforcing this theme. Guts' journey is that of confronting and dealing with his troubles and traumas, and overcoming them. Not running away. Allowing him to move on and forge a better, more stable
This is the part where we just get into cool double page spreads that kind of represent what I'm saying.
future for himself. Guts was born into terrible circumstances, and then found the Band of the Hawk and found fulfillment in that. Then that was taken from him, and he fell back into terrible circumstances, only for him to claw his way back to finding love and appreciation in his new family, and even regaining some of what he had lost. Griffith as our antagonist fails this thematic journey. He does not confront his trauma, at any turn, whether due to pride or narcissism, or even taking the easy way out. Whether it be from him prostituting himself to Gunnin, or his guilt regarding the death of his soldiers, in both circumstances he represses his emotions, and tries to push forward to serve his dream. The Behelit as an evil, anti-thematic object allows him to cheat the
I
consequences.
also think that line is cute because it's like
And tries to
I
push
probably
forward
should
to
have
serve his dream. The Behelit
inflected in the narration more because it's like a funny point, like evil anti-thematic object, Lamau. Like I'm like describing what's happened in thematic. I've sort of blended the two, and you shouldn't really do that, but I did it anyway. And it's funny, and you understand.
As an evil, anti-thematic object allows him to cheat the consequences of this thematic blunder the first time by giving him godlike powers and everything he ever wanted on a silver platter.
And also implying that it's evil, not because of the repercussions in the like story descriptively, but prescriptively because of what it represents.
You see Griffith post-eclipse and post-rebirth. Seems plastic, doesn't it? Seems unfulfilling. He has his kingdom. He has a lot of the societal progression he wanted.
I guess I should wait and talk about this at the end, but the next video is going to be sort of about escapism and how Berserk handles that. That could totally be a tangent about Mushoku Tensei in that video. It would be bad, and I wouldn't have the full context for it. But it would be funny, huh? Berserk is about how escapism is bad. But Mushoku Tensei, by the way of being an isekai, and probably the conclusion isn't going back to the real world, is like, escapism good, actually. It's probably very reductive, but it's also funny, chat.
No struggle in it, and no comrades or friends for him to celebrate it with. And even when he reaches out to Rickett, he is slapped away. He's never...
But also that escapism point is sort of a fundamentally ingrained thing in sort of like art analysis communities, I think. But I think it's kind of unfounded, so it could be interesting to do that. I could do a separate video about that, like comparing how Berserk does escapism. Or maybe just a video generally about escapism, because I've always kind of fundamentally been annoyed with that term.
Never been forced to grow as a person or address his pride or narcissism. He just seeks to fly onward. Guts is Griffith's thematic retribution. Griffith fell apart the first time because he...
I also like this because it's sort of the Griffith is literally Eren thing, Lamau, where it's like, oh, Eren's keep moving forward thing. And Griffith kind of does that where he just tries to push forward. And there's also a famous Don Draper speech that's basically keep pushing forward. I think that resonates with a lot of people because I think it is usually okay advice in real life, which is sort of what the Madman scene gets at. The Madman scene is like, well, not addressing trauma is probably bad, but if you push forward, you will forget about it most of the time, and it will only come out when you're like breaking down once a season. But the rest of the time, you'll be all right. I think also Madman doesn't think you can address trauma just because Madman is such a kind of prescriptively cynical show. But obviously Eren initially it's like a valuable thing, like, oh, I won't let anything hold me down, I will continue on. And then there's sort of like a, well, you can't really do that type thing, which is sort of what's supposed to be embodied by Griffith here. But I don't know if a lot of people think about that, and I guess people who would like Griffith might admire him for that, so sort of saying that's bad is important. What a dumb point. Shut up, Elitery pussy.
That's poorly. Their relationship was always fundamentally flawed with the whole owning thing.
I got a question for you after I'm done recording this goddamn almighty video, Elitery, so you better stick around.
Made there, but Griffith primarily liked what Guts facilitated for himself. And while he cared for...
This point is also... could be expanded, I guess. Because Griffith is... he has to be in love with him. The more I think about it, the more it has to be the case that Griffith is gay. It just has to be. Look at this little femboy slut. And I think Berserk should get a Netflix adaptation, and they should just do that. And I think they should argue for it afterwards. They should make their own video essays, like, obviously this is the most obvious thing in retrospect. Of course, they're gay, loser. I guess Guts doesn't have to be gay too, you know. Would be pretty cool, though. Classic bisexual king over here. Still get those Casca scenes. But I can just imagine, if they ever did do a Netflix show, they would have to do it, right? It's like... you need representation up. It's just in line with all the things we love doing.
bonds made there, but Griffith primarily liked what Guts facilitated for himself. And while he cared for Guts to some degree...
Like, that is true, absolutely, about Griffith's character, but the interesting part about that being true is that's sort of reflects a sort of ingrained in human nature about how we kind of only do love the people we love because they facilitate things from us, like mutual love or things like that. And this can be said, this is like obviously seen in the way most people are very possessive about the people they love, whether it be like just like basic stuff like through monogamy or whatever, and a bunch of other things about how you could be like, even when like, you know what happened to Lita E? My girlfriend told me she watched Barbie, and we were supposed to watch Barbie together. Now, we've been apart for like 3 months, but she could have waited a Lita E, and I was a little possessively hurt about that. So, I told Lita E about that. That's why I addressed him specifically, chat. Little things like that. It's like, well, if Guts isn't going to watch Barbie with me, he ain't watching Barbie with nobody. Chop his head off, as we're going to see here.
For himself. And while
also, this panel is this monologue is one of the best fucking things ever. This Griffith, I'm dying in a dungeon and all I can think about is Guts. He has to be gay, chat. Think about a friend that fucked you over like this. If it's a lover or somebody you want to be in love with or you are in love with unrequitedly, that's exactly what you think of. And this imagery is so good. Like, oh, what does he even say here? Only him, like lightning on a dark night, he rises up within me blazing. That's the gay shit I've ever read, chat. And again, like a tidal wave, an infinite number of feelings surge upon me. Oh, and this is so cool because of the foreshadowing all in here, and this is like the most insight you ever get into Griffith's like emotional psyche that isn't just implied. And Berserk has so little moments where you actually get a character monologuing about their feelings. Oh, it's so good. Malice, friendship, jealousy, futility, regret, tenderness, sorrow, pain, hunger. He's hungry, chat, for that dick. Am I honest? Am I right? But also malice, friendship, jealousy. He's jealous of Guts already, let alone when he's going to see him hugging Casca outside the thingy when he's looking out. Oh, so many reoccurring yearning feelings. Yearning is very important in the next video, chat. Note that one down. I'm reading. The giant swirl of violent emotions in which none are definitive but all are warped. Oh my god, that's how emotions work. That's such a great little descriptive statement. Berserk so good at writing sometimes, Chad. It's writing poetry out here. Do I have to get the Fantasia monologue up too? These other manga aren't doing that. That's why Berserk is actually the best. That alone is the bond. Which keeps my consciousness from vanishing amongst the numbness. It's fucking sick.
Cared for Guts to some degree, to a large degree even. I think he cares about his own ambitions far more than Guts. And when Guts left him, or even before that when he was trying to leave
These
him...
These pages are also sick. Sometimes Griffith be looking a little fucking...
far more than Guts.
Crazy. Like in this panel, sometimes he'd be looking like a bird or a crazy old bitch.
Him, or that's even before that when he was trying to leave him, we saw Griffith's "if I can't have him, nobody can" mindset. He would rather Guts die than leave.
Also, this is a great panel. I feel like most people forget this panel exists, where Griffith's just impaling Guts in the head. Pretty sick.
Resentful, and that came out multiple times. Whether it be the choke, trying to seduce Casca.
You would put this in the next chapter preview at the chapter before, and think you're spoiling that Guts is gonna fucking die next chapter. It would be the greatest clickbait of all time.
He was resentful, and that came out multiple times. Whether it be the choke, trying to seduce Casca, or raping Casca. All of this has gone unaddressed. Came out multiple times.
Most censored image of Casca getting raped.
Or raping.
Very helpful when you need to put it in YouTube videos.
Casca. All of this has gone unaddressed.
This panel is so fucking cool, chat.
It cannot go unpunished by the narrative if it wants to serve this overcoming trauma theme. And so, as Griffith tries
it's like thematic too, because he's blocking out the light, and Ganishka's yearning for the light, and then he thinks he's found the light, but it's actually a corrupted light because Femto is raven black.
Thematic mistakes will catch up with him. His undealt with trauma will manifest in those he hurt in its wake. Those who have put the work in, if you will. Further, I think thematically, Guts serves as somebody making good on the false promises of Griffith, without really trying.
I think I've accumulated a bunch of smaller points that I've always said about Berserk. Like, I've gone on this rant like for 4 years on streams and Guts is actually what Griffith pretends to be or whatever. Same with the Fountain of Dreams speech, where I'm like, oh, it's actually like foreshadowing the whole fucking series, brother. It's representative. It is interesting when you finally make a video about something and you somehow manage to put all these little points in. And when you rewatch it, you're like, oh my god, this is the smartest video of all time. But then you're like, nobody said anything about any of these points in the comment section.
Guts has become everything Griffith pretends to be. A great leader, an inspirer of men, women, and all sorts of creatures, a force that brings man and magical beasts together, a bridger of the gaps between cultures, one who leads by example and positively impacts the lives of his comrades, one who sets good examples for the next generation, one who helps those in need, a slayer of monsters, the breaker of fate and causality, and maybe even with his new growing hair issue, the true Falcon of Light.
And nobody even called me an idiot for this.
That's what we're setting up with this grey hair thing. The Black Swordsman suddenly becoming white.
Also suddenly becoming white. Didn't even say things right, idiot.
He's a true human savior of sorts, with all those fundamental human flaws. Guts in Chapter 1 has a concluding monologue about what...
Also tying, like, a general thematic point into, like, the end of Chapter 1 is fucking genius, chat.
...means to be human. That humans may be weak and easy to kill, but that's why they continue to fight, to live. Just simply to survive and go on. This seems to run opposite of Griffith's...
Also, this is also not entirely in the manga and seems to be a movie thing that I retconned. Because I think Griffith is far more negative on, like, being a normal person in the speech in the movie. Whereas in the manga, he's...
Speech at the fountain, where he says that living just to live, or fighting just to survive, is abhorrent. And some...
Like, I think... I couldn't find him saying abhorrent in the manga at all. But it's, like, stuck in my brain from the movie. From the great dub.
Griffith here seems to reject what Guts sees as humanity. He seems to hate it. Guts has made mistakes and has learned from them. Bad things have happened to him, and he has moved through them. He did this in a very human way, by banding together and trying to push through, with comrades and friends. Griffith has always tried to run from his humanity, and anything that made him weak, to project...
Also, if you look hard enough on the sides here, chat, you'll notice that, there are just black bars here, and this isn't a full panel. I could have extended this to be a full panel if I used Photoshop, like I did in the Devilman video.
This image of perfection, to service his dream.
Guts wants to be Kaneki so bad.
Which seems to be both parts altruistic and narcissistic.
Kaneki is, he's the Tokyo Ghoul guy, right? Oh, I'm just a fucking genius.
So much so that this all culminated with basically...
He's trying to rile you up, audience. Okay, don't let him.
...a deal with the devil to cheat his humanity. But in the end...
Heath, you should advocate more for Tokyo Ghoul, because it is on our shortlist, me and Elite RE. And maybe Bacon. Now... are doing when we do our thing that nobody has seen.
So much so that this all culminated with basically him making...
God, this panel is so fucking cool, bro.
...deal with the devil to cheat his humanity. But in the end...
God, this panel is so fucking cool, bro.
It's not possible. No matter how hard you try.
Also, I put this panel in because I got a comment recently on the Griffith video about how I should make a video now that Griffith cried again after I, like, predicted that in the other video. And I was like, oh, this one, if he watches this video, he'd be like, oh, he did address.
Or what you used to repress it. Beware the man in the corpses. You created him. For worse and for better.
Image kind of pops up too early.
This video is part 1 in a 2-part series.
And then we've got our little outro that Elite already did for us. Because guess what, chat? Because I lost all my old stuff, I don't have the support links in the description below thingy that I've had forever anymore. Like, I could get a screenshot from in a video and put it in, which is what I did do. What I did do? Wait, that's not even do. Anyway. Which is what I did do for this video at the end. But I don't know, it always looks weird, and it's a screenshot from another video, and I'm just like, oh, maybe we could use a change, and I'm sick of actually trying to put something on the screen while I do these outros. It's annoying, so let me just do this live.
If you like the final part of the video talking about the more thematic approach of Berserk, I think you'll really be interested in part 2, which is going to deal with escapism.
I think I should have made this, like, overall smaller.
Concepts and motifs in Berserk. I've kind of...
But I guess we don't really have to listen to this. So that was the video show. Got some insight and some clarification into that. Now we can go over the analytics and how well it's doing, because obviously the audience cares about that very much. You have to be on top of my success. The channel went through a bit of a resurgence a little bit in terms of views generally, like the Griffith video is getting a lot of views. It's nearly at 900,000 now, and we're getting a decent amount of subscribers every once in a while. The video initially was doing pretty bad. I think it was like down an 8th, but then I think it'll show it here. But yeah, just like it suddenly sprung up on like the 2nd or 3rd day it was uploaded, and then it just sort of, and now it sort of hit 1.1k. I think it's finally on 1.2k now, but it seems to like, oh, that's over, which is okay. I'm okay with 1,000 views. Like if a video doesn't get 1,000 views, I'm kind of like, well, that video fucking failed. A video succeeding would be getting like 10k views, I think. Which is sort of what the Ray video did. And I think this is just going to progressively progress, you know, as you say, as we keep re-uploading videos. Not re-uploading videos, just uploading videos. We get back to uploading videos. Oh my god, look at this. So much traffic from end screens. Sick. Probably from the Griffith video, huh? That's actually hilarious. And browse features as you're scrolling through shit. Notifications, so some people did actually show up for it. We got some YouTube searches and some channel pages. We got 12 subscribers. It's made $2, chat. That's big. YouTube Home is a lot of the recommendation stuff. Cool. But anyway. Yeah, so it's 3 out of 10, so it's doing okay. You know, it's doing a little bit okay. Yeah, hopefully the next Berserk video, you know, everybody's reminded of Berserk and that I do Berserk content, so the next one will get even more views. And specifically because they aren't too harshly part 1 and part 2, it won't require watching this one, and I'm not going to title it in such a way. So yeah. The video did pretty good, I think, and it was a good turnaround. We're improving, and hopefully the next video will be out even sooner. I definitely want to get it out to the next few months. Are you kidding me? By the end of the month. Even if it takes until the very end of the month, that would still be an improvement over the most recent video, which is kind of something I want to get in the habit of doing. In my head, I have 2 weeks, but I think it has been a week today, and I've only the day after was uploaded did I work on the next video. Outside of that, I've been going to work and been busy, and my sleep schedule's been terrible, and I've been trying to do Black Lagoon and stuff like that, so I've been a bit distracted. But yeah, it'll be in a few hours. It'll have been a whole week. So maybe I can get the video done, you know, whatever. Are there any comments we want to go over? Bacon just jerking me off, as we love to do. Also, I put the tier list in the description here, and the tier list has more views than this video, which is pretty funny. Tier lists be doing that, though. Oh my god, there's a new comment here. Fine, I'll reread it, Lamau. New comment. But that's kind of hilarious. There's a secondary ENT video doing better than this fucking main channel video, and they're both about Berserk, but yeah. This guy's just talking about how he watched the old video and now he was thanking me so much for this video. You know, that's so sweet, chat. Aw, bros, please upload the next part. I love this one. True that people love me. This is just sort of a theory for the end of the video that sort of contradicts my whole video, but I don't think he understood the point of the video, so that's just kind of cute. And yeah, he's like, Berserker's too good for Guts to just kill Griffith, guys. This video is truly amazing. Great analysis, very observant. Oh my god, I'm so smart, chat. We got the Mia comment I just went over. I never thought about the corpse motif. My take after watching the video is that Griffith used it, and it just not the take I tried to make in the video, but that's okay. Unrelated, what's your opinion? Oh yeah, and I just said I don't remember, brother. God, I love Berserk. I can't tell if this was like a meme of me making fun of it at the beginning, but also they have a Guts profile picture, so this might have just been genuine. But anyway, somehow there's fucking 16 comments on this goddamn video. But that's where we say goodbye to you, chat. I think that's all we have to say about the old Berserk Guts Griffith and Berserk's corpse motif video. Hopefully we'll be doing another going over video in like the next 2 weeks when the video comes out, brother. The next one, which is titled, what did I even title it at this point? Do I even have it open? Nope, I do not. Hold on, let's get the title. Let's tease the title. Let's tease the next video. Berserk, Trauma, Escapism, and Imagination. I really got to put Fantasia in that title somewhere, right? We'll workshop the title, but that's what it's about. It's about Fantasia as a concept, you know, genius stuff. High IQ, high intellect stuff you wouldn't understand unless you were me. Anyway, get the fuck out of here, you know? Check out all the other secondary ENT content, like specifically the Black Lagoon stuff. We love Black Lagoon. Support links in the description below. Thanks.